When I was writing the script, I needed to think about the characters and what sort of personalities they would have, because that would affect how they interacted with each other and the sorts of things they might say. The dialogue was a very important part of the filming to me, because I believe that's what makes comedies, because there's things such as one-liners, puns, innuendos, that are all going to make it more entertaining. And if there wasn't any dialogue, the basis of my film would be a bunch of teenagers running through a forest, which I think would be a little bit boring, and there wouldn't be much dynamic between the characters, which may be ridiculous. I asked my friend Alice to help me write it, as she's got experience in creative writing, and she's a lot better at it than me. And I thought it would be good because then I could have someone to share my ideas with, and she could help me make sure that what I was writing was going to be funny and was going to appeal to the target audience. I spoke to my friends and the cast members and had them reflect on the script as well, as I thought this would make sure that they were comfortable saying what they wanted to say, because there's quite a lot of strong language, because I think that's quite common in these sort of comedy films, and it means that I think teenagers stereotypically tend to swear more. I'm not sure if it's true, and it also let them sort of understand their roles a bit better, and if they wanted to change any lines they could, or they could make up parts of it. And I think that kind of gives the freedom to make the film a bit more interesting and a bit more creative and definitely funnier. Some of the events in the script were basically taken from other sources of inspiration. For example, the character of Finn is basically Jay from The Inbetweeners, because what he says is so abstract and ridiculous, and he makes all these claims that are obviously not going to be true, and everyone knows they're not true, but I think that makes it quite funny because it is so ridiculous how he's trying to make people believe that he's like been to the Amazon and whatnot, and it's just very stupid. My other characters are also based on stereotypes, as I think this can provide quite a lot of comedy, and it may also make the situation relatable, because it's a very odd bunch of people who are friends, and the way they interact may reflect sort of people's relationships in real life. I wrote the script over the course of about a week, as this would give me time to develop my ideas, reread it, tweak any things that I thought weren't funny, and add more humour to it. And I was watching Ouran High School Close Club throughout this week, and I took some ideas from that, because there's a scene.
This anime is obviously a romantic school comedy. Haruhi and I are the main characters, so that means we are love interests.
Yeah, then what are we?
You boys are the homosexual supporting cast. So please make sure that you don't step across this line.
You've got to be kidding.
This scene basically involves them sort of breaking the fourth wall through a joke, and I quite like that idea, which is why I had my characters sort of become aware that they're in a horror movie, because I think that's really funny when characters do that. It's also really weird, and I think it's good to have some sort of abstract things happening, because comedy essentially comes from what you are not expecting to happen.